Welcome back to the show, ladies and gents. We are live over here on YouTube. For those of you watching on Spotify, you're listening to the replay. So I'm going to make sure we introduce the OGs, Nicole and Alexis, and then we're going to dive right into it. So say hi, everybody.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Jesus. All right. All
Nicole's
right,
in here
everybody
somewhere. I
ready?
know she is.
She's there. She's, she's there. She's fine. All
Sorry,
right.
I was getting my wings out the air fryer.
So everybody watched the Super Bowl this past Sunday, and it was a fun time for the halftime show.
Shout out
For
to
those
that
of us,
kicker on the Seahawks.
no, for real, the
Whoever,
game is
whatever,
held.
young man, whatever you make, ask for
Double it,
double.
double it.
I'm not even
hmm
kidding. You whatever you make, ask them for double. Cause
He
hmm
made every
you was
kick, every kick. Oh,
you made every kick, and literally the
yeah.
first half, he was the only fucking person who scored.
hmm He
Because
scored
we were mad
more.
because we wanted him to get MVP so bad because we were Googling. We're like, has the kicker ever got MVP of the Super
Did
Bowl?
he get it?
I don't know who got it actually
Let me
Well,
see.
because
who
I'll
we
did
look it
all
the
up real
left
kicker get
quick.
before then.
MVP? They didn't give it to the kicker.
It was
What?
probably that guy who's touched. Was it that dude who
Thought the
scored those
kicker kept
touchdowns?
the game
I
alive.
don't understand that, but they ended up giving it to Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker didn't have the
They don't
130-yard
ever give
rushing,
it to
and
kickers.
he scored the only touchdown.
So what?
It don't matter.
They gave it to the
Now
running back.
I'm mad.
That's
Kickers
not
never get
right.
recognition, man. Martin
That's not
Gramatica should have
right.
got MVP that one game, and
Kickers
he didn't
matter.
fucking do it. Yeah.
Because if
Talking
he had a
about some
missed
all
all of them
lives
field goals,
matters. All kickers
they would have
matter.
blamed him. They would have blamed him for that game if he had a missed all them field goals.
hmm
Come on.
But
They should
shout
have
out
gave it
to
to him.
the. But I just like to say shout out to the kicker. I'm sorry, Nan, I don't know your name, but I may become a Hawks fan or a Seahawks fan after this. Uh,
I
you
love the
score.
Seahawks.
You played more in this Super Bowl than that freaking weirdo kicker they have on the Chiefs did last year. So shout out
Mm.
to you and to my homie number
Is he still
83
on
and
the
the
Chiefs?
who had that
Oh,
sweet
I
ass
thought he's
mullet.
injured.
I think he still is on the Chiefs. That weird
I think
dude
he
there,
got
the one
injured. That whole
that
team is
tried wife.
flopping, so it don't matter anyways.
Yeah, is
Good.
he still with them?
Yeah.
He's still with them.
What's
Okay.
his name? Travis Butlicker or something like that. I don't know. But no, Kyle something. But shout out also to the guy from the Seahawks, number 83 and number 84, with the big white dude with the sweet ass mullet. Like holy shit,
That mullet was crazy.
it was
Shout out
glorious.
to our Nigerian cousin that's on there because I know his mom
Yeah.
still want him to be a doctor
Period.
or a lawyer. She
What
Neurosurgeon.
is this football? What is this? What is this?
what is
What
this?
is this?
Did you see the clip of her? Is so funny because she's like, because they're like, how do you feel about the Super Bowl? She's like, I don't understand. I was like, what Super Bowl? Why this big deal? Like, I don't.
Oh, I love her.
And she was like, oh, she's like, we kicked the ball, we scored a touchdown, oh, we won, yay. Like,
Oh,
Yeah, we won the
God
game. We
bless.
won the game.
Like
We
really,
love
God
that
with
for
bless.
her.
kids.
But
So,
I was just I just want to
Stephanie,
say one. I just want to say one more football thing before we start talking about Benito. Um, Stephen Diggs, how do you lose the game and Cardi B all in one night?
that is not a conversation that I want to
I
have
just want to
because
know.
Cardi
Someone answer
kind
that
of,
question for me.
if we being honest, Cardi kind of set herself up for disaster.
Yeah,
But
I love
we
Cardi.
just, but
I
her
need
choices
her
in men.
Mm,
I need her to find her a nice rich man because she's also, except for Stephon Diggs, that's the only thing that he was level with her is the amount of money,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then everything else was Offset Junior.
I
So she only slightly upgraded from him. So Cardi,
yeah,
love
she
me
do.
down, girl. I need
Yeah.
you to find you a rich man who like to sit at home,
Mhm.
She needs her. You need you like a Clay Thompson type of dude.
I was just thinking that.
Make him a little bit older too, just a little bit,
Because
not a whole lot, but a little bit.
Megan just threw him a party and she brought his favorite rap group, Bone Thugs and Harmony, to the party. She had them perform for him. And it was so
Yeah,
sweet. I was like, oh my God, they really love each other. That is so sweet.
I
good
think
for
he's gonna
Megan.
marry her. I'm
I
thinking.
do
Yeah,
too.
I think he's gonna marry her.
they're
I
either gonna
do
get
too.
they're either gonna get engaged sometime in the middle of this year, or he's gonna wait till like Christmas or New Year, because I know he ain't gonna play with her much longer. So like,
Because they were together
Um,
for a long time before they even told everybody or
no, they
made it
were.
public.
mhm,
Yeah. But I'm happy for her and I'm happy for him.
Yes,
yeah,
because he
So,
seems like a nice young man.
mhm.
yes. Yes. Benito performed at the Super Bowl. Now,
Love
in
this.
our world, Benito is not only the world's biggest artist, he also is the greatest celebrity wrestler of all time. Okay? There is rarely any other celebrity who could really match Bad Bunny on any level in wrestling. So we was
True.
locked in. Okay, we knew. But he had a great set and it was so culturally loud and I love
Mhm.
that. The fields they had, okay, so they had a rule. They could only take like 22, between 22 and 27 carts on the field. And they had so much stuff they had to put out there. So those sugarcane fields, those were real people in the sugar canes.
It was
Those
so.
weren't,
Did you see the TikTok that the Seahawks posted?
No.
no.
Well, it's the people like the bush. Everyone the bush people like running
The-
to the field, and they made it, and then
Yeah.
they posted it with the minion sound because they did. It look like it's so funny.
They
And then
did actually.
I saw before that um one of the people like on the tour, they're on the bus, like the people who are the grass people. They're all on the bus. I was like,
They're
this is
all on
so
the bus
funny.
being bussed in because they
But
couldn't take any
also, what I
carts
like
on the
about it,
field.
that created even more jobs.
Yep. So people
Mhm.
got to stand on the field and they were the sugar canes. And
I
he
was
had it
going
was
through.
just such a really dope setup and how he had it wasn't just a particular type of Latina. He had
Mhm.
the diaspora on display. There were Afro Latinas, Cubans, Haitians. You had all types of people from the Americas were all there. But Puerto Rico was front and center. And it was just
Mhm.
like, this is just a culture bomb that I just am feeling. And I was like, I don't need to know what the lyrics are, but I'll look them up. But I was in here
Mhm.
vibing. I didn't have an issue. I enjoyed the set. I thought the set was fun. And then at the end, there was no political statement. All the songs he gave you were from his last couple of albums, and none of those
Mhm.
were political statements. He has a political statement song. I wish he would have performed it so y'all could really have something to be mad about. But he
Mhm.
left that one over on SoundCloud.
Do you know
If you
what's
want to
really
go listen
funny?
to it, you should. It's
Mhm.
I
necessary.
caught it, and quite a few people caught it, and I think people are just so just outraged. The people who want to be outraged are just outraged in just in general. There was
Yeah.
Mhm.
literally two guys. You see it for 2 seconds. Two guys
Oh, the
Yep.
running,
You
guys.
gotta
Yeah, I know what you're
pretty
talking
running on
about.
each other. I was like, yes, and I was like, as soon
Yes.
as you see it, that camera moved. I said, ooh.
Oh.
And no, and like if someone said it online, they're like, not a lot of people. I was like, I thought I was crazy when I caught that because it was like me and my friend. Because at my friend's place that we watch at her place, their well, it's not her, it's like two people, but their place is basically like the top part where we mostly hang out is it's basically like a huge loft. So there was
Hmm.
like TVs and like the couches on their height, and then they have like a bar area that had TVs and stuff over there too. And I was up top. I was like on the I was like I was sitting at like the bar area like with our one of our friends Ashley, and we were just like it was our friends Ashley, and then my other friend who's also he's like a wrestling fan, so obviously so he loves Bad Bunny, and then like a couple of our other friends. And we were just sitting there and I was just like, wait a second. I was like, did I? And Ashley was like, I thought I
Mm-hmm.
saw that too. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, they
Mm-hmm.
moved that camera real fast.
Real quick, yeah.
But that one song that he plays at end, which is like that famous song, that slow song from that album,
Mhm.
I don't like listening to it because I cry every time I listen to it.
Yep.
Oh.
And that actually speaks volume about this because one of my friends posted this on Facebook today that he listens to like a lot of different music. Like
Yeah.
he's a metalhead, so he listens to Italian metal, German metal, Japanese metal, like, and they don't speak English. And I, it makes me think of this one song by Rammstein, and I know they're kind of like "Ugh," right now, but I don't know what they're talking about because they're speaking German, right? But it's a slow song, and I've seen the music video for it, and it's the band playing different guys, and they're trying to go up this mountain, and the one guy knows like his friend's sick or something like that. He doesn't have much longer to live, and the guy dies before they make it to the top. But his friends like carry him with them up to the top, so he could be there. And the whole time I'm fucking bawling because just the tone of the song, the way that the singer is singing, and the visual that can kick you right in the emotionals, and you not even realize it.
I,
Sorry,
I
I didn't
think
mean to
that
interrupt,
song
but
is
that's just
called DM.
DTMF, I think.
Yeah. But it's like the basically, I'm crying thinking about it.
Oh no, don't cry.
But
Oh.
basically the premise of the song is like wishing you had more time.
Oh,
Take a
Nicole, it's gonna be okay.
take a
You
breather, girl.
I'm so mad right now. Why am I crying? Um it's basically
Because of that
talking about
song.
like scared like you're scared to lose like your roots and your culture, and you're
Yeah.
scared and you're like
Hmm.
terrified that you felt like that you didn't appreciate the memories with like your elders more and like your grandparents, like you felt like you didn't cherish those or like record those in your mind as well as you should have, because you feel like you're not remembering things as well as you used to.
Yeah.
So
And
No, that's a valid reason to be sad about it. I mean,
I
it's an
mean,
emotional song.
I think this was actually because I know everyone was talking about Green Day and how political they were going to get.
not Lady
I
Senorita.
For real, but
Mm.
but
Fucking
like,
Lady Gaga. I was like, why
and
is she
everyone was
there?
kind of was like, why is Lady Gaga with Bad Bunny? And I looked it
Because he
up,
loves Lady
and
Gaga.
he loves Lady
Yeah, he
Gaga.
does.
And
Yeah.
apparently, when he was still trying to make it into music, he wasn't mentally doing well. So he would listen to her music to put himself in a good mood. So there, but I love Lady Gaga because I found this out. The dress she was wearing, traditional Puerto Rican celebration dress, done by a Puerto Rican designer, and the flower that she was wearing is the native flower for Puerto Rico. Like this whole, like it was political because everyone was like, "Oh, Green Day's gonna get political." It was political without beating you over the head with it.
I'm
Like,
shocked they
especially,
didn't yell fuck Trump. I was waiting for it.
well, you know what the
I
fuck
was
I
Trump
didn't
waiting
moment
see
for
it
was?
it.
as I didn't
Here,
see it
here,
as political. I honestly took it as he wanted to give his culture a moment. And that's what I took it as. And then he
well,
was just like, we're just gonna give love to everybody. And I was like, cool. I didn't see it as political.
the thing to me that really seemed like him yelling "fuck Trump" is when they brought out the power lines, and the power lines were sparking and stuff. Because if anyone remembers, back in Trump's first run, Puerto Rico got hit really bad by that hurricane, and they were without power. And Trump held federal funding, and when he finally went there, all he did was like throw a roll of paper towels at people and left.
Puerto
So
Yeah,
Rico
but
is
their
still
power grid is
unfortunately
still
experiencing their
not
power grid
good.
is not great.
yeah,
Yeah.
is very outdated. And every time there's like a big storm or anything like that, it just makes it worse and worse and worse. So just like the power grid system in the country in general is just not great, unfortunately. But it was just nice. It was nice to see. It was nice to see people just like throwing ass. It was so funny.
Yep.
Like the front, so we were like, "Is that Jessica Alba?"
It was
Mhm.
Jessica
And
Alba.
then
She
we were
was
like,
there.
"That's Jessica Alba." And then someone
Yep.
was like, "That's Pedro Pascal." I
That
was
was
like,
me.
and then
Yeah.
I was like, "Why the fuck is Alex Earl up here?"
There's so many people in there. There's so many.
Well, she was the
Just
only
random Cardi
white person
B.
up there. That's why I was like confused. I was like, "Who invited her up there?"
I was talking to
I
Tip
don't.
about this before you got here, but like I believe in sleeper agents now because as soon as I heard that beginning for Gasolina, something snapped in my head and it was like, oh,
Bitch,
okay.
I started screaming. Everyone looked at me. And I was like, Gasolina. And I started like dance, and I like got up and like started dancing. Everyone was like, what? And I was like, and I think it's just I'm so used to it, even though I haven't like lived back home in like years.
Mm,
But that's what I was like. Also, I was like, okay, everybody, you have to remember this is what I grew up with. The majority population in my hometown is Hispanic, predominantly Puerto Rican. So that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm so some of the stuff like again I'm used to and like I like kind of knew, but it's like obviously like Gasolina is one of them. So it was just nice to see something that I grew up, even though I'm not fully, obviously I'm not Puerto Rican myself. I'm not fully immersed in. I'm not. That's like technically not my culture, but I grew up around it, so I do like. I have like appreciation for it. Like almost every time I go home, I try to go somewhere. So I try to go to Rainbow so I can get rice and beans and pastillos because they don't fucking no one makes Puerto Rican food up here, and I miss rice and beans.
Mhm.
It's just like things like that, and it's just like I just end up just like absolutely. So it was just nice to see, and I was nice, and I was like, oh, this is nice for like all like the people I know back home and stuff like that. And I was like, I just thought that was just so nice that they have something like had something like that, or
Yeah.
people can see what help makes them special because like no offense to like Mexicans, but I feel like in the country when we talk about Hispanic culture, it mostly just get lumped into Mexico and Mexican.
I
Who
agree.
is this? What is this vignette? Hold on. Oh, this is Tatum. I don't know. Okay. Um, and it was just, is this AI? What is this?
Mhm.
What a weird. I don't know. This is weird.
Well,
But
it's
yeah, it was just
Tatum.
nice.
So,
Mhm.
so Benito had a great set, and we're not going to talk about the negative stuff because it doesn't really help anything. We're going to focus on the positive because it
Mhm.
seems that Bad Bunny is coming back home to the E. WWE has always had a good relationship with Bad Bunny. And the only reason why he probably wasn't a part of the last couple of Rumbles, or rather Rumbles and the WrestleManias, is because Benito's been working. He's been on tour for almost 2 years. So
Mhm.
now that he's able to rest and reset, he ain't sitting down and doing that. It seems that he's going to be showing up. And what better place to show up than at WrestleMania? The rumor is that Benito is going to be there and that he is going to be coming back to the E, and we're talking very, very soon. So,
Mhm.
how do you feel about him coming back?
I have no problem coming back. And for anyone who bitches and complains, I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna go through their feed and see where they're kissing Logan Paul's ass. Did you guys see where he kind of backtracked on shit?
I saw Logan Paul correct his brother Jake on the dumb shit he was talking about.
Yeah,
Doesn't
but
matter.
then
I
I,
Yeah,
saw
which is
another.
real crazy.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know his fiance's name, but I was like, wow, someone talented in that family. Um,
she looks
his
like she yells at
Jake's
servers.
Jake's
Oh shit. His
wife
fiance is an
fiance.
Olympian.
Yeah, I was like,
She's a
how did
fiance.
you? I was like, why are you with this man?
I
She's
don't know.
ran
And
out of
she won
options.
fucking gold, and she broke a record. I was
Yeah,
like, why
she
are you
did
with
really
this man?
well. Dry
Mhm.
told me that she was really well, did really well in the Olympics. And I was like,
She did
she's an
really. She
Olympian?
killed it. I was like, why are you with this man?
He was like, yeah, she's engaged to Jake Paul. I was like, why? And when?
Hopefully she'll
When did
snap
this
out
happen?
of it or something, because I think that's real crazy. I said,
Yeah.
you're a
I
literal
mean,
Olympian.
Why do you
He's a
need
fake
him?
boxer.
Because
I would do
I'm
with a broken jaw. His jaw
Have
is
you
not
guys
right.
seen it? He literally has metal pieces screwed into his mouth. It's like
Okay. He
crazy.
earned all of it. He
He earned
earned
all
all
of
Hmm
it.
of it. That's
Also,
But
what she
unfortunately,
did.
he's
quote
still
unquote,
talking.
allegedly, also that beard that he has is a fake beard.
It's
It
fake. It
wouldn't
is.
surprise
It
me.
is.
Because
It's a lace
someone
front.
spilled the beans on TikTok because one of their friends is like a makeup artist, and they're like, tell me why I just did like a fake beard install on Jake Paul.
Yup. Yup.
Oh my
Yup.
god.
Oh God,
Well,
it's
no,
so
it's
funny.
there's a video going around threads where it was like Logan Paul is on like some carpet, and they're like, "What do you think of Bad Bunny playing at the Super Bowl?" And he's like, "Not a real American," because I don't know if y'all forget, the Paul brothers were one of those podcast bros that were responsible for getting Trump reelected.
Yeah, we didn't forget.
And
I know that.
yeah, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about like anybody listening who may have forgotten. And so, and then when Jake went on that little tirade of his, because he's sitting next to Vice President Couchfucker, um, that's a whole nother mess. But she but then that's when Logan Paul was like, oh, blah 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 blah, and it's kind of funny because they both lived there to get away because of some crappy, partially illegal gambling shit that they do that they can get away with in Puerto Rico, but they can't get away with in the States.
Well, Damian Priest came out and said to Logan Paul that he appreciated him for speaking up. And I thought that was nice. But I'm not about
I
performative
was shocked
bullshit.
that he said like an actual like cohesive correct thought.
I
I was
Mm.
very
agree.
I was very shocked by it.
All I can say is since you so,
Because I was like, I don't know who lives well, I hate to say something positive about Logan Paul. Um but I think
but
he actually appreciates living there more than Jake does. I think Jake only
mhm,
lives there because he fucking has to because of that like that shit Alexa said. I think
yeah.
because Logan went there first.
And the taxes are really
Their
are
taxes,
non-existent.
yeah, they
Yeah, they
basically
don't have
that's like
taxes.
it's like when of that's like I almost watched that impulsive so I can watch Bree eat him up, but I watched a clip of it because Bree ate his little raggedy little cuck friend up. I
What
was
did Bree
like,
say?
well, he was like, oh, I thought he was talking. They were talking about the grid because it wasn't the Super Bowl yet. Because they were like, oh, obviously, like, oh, you excited for Bad Bunny? And they're like, yeah, because I don't know how it got brought up. Bad Bunny got brought up, but it got brought up, and then he was like, yeah, he's like got kind of political there at the Grammys, and Brie was like, no, I don't think so. And then he said
I
something, and
agree.
she's like, so what's? She's like, I think he was just giving a good message and something that we all need to hear. And then, like, that dude said something else, like, I think, like, a little bit later, and she checked him again. And, like, Nikki's, like, laughing at him.
Because they're ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
like, y'all
ridiculous.
sound, like, you sound stupid. Like, you used to be engaged to a fucking porn star. Like, bro, shut the hell up.
Oh my
To
god.
boldly go where every man has gone before.
Literally.
Like,
So speaking of WrestleMania, we're gonna have a little chit chat,
ooh,
okay? So
this is why
Mania
they
is
need
set to
Bad
be
Bunny at
in
WrestleMania.
no, for real. Mania is set to be in Vegas this year again. And it's gonna be in the later in the month, April 19th and April 18th. Now, the issue isn't the timing, it's the price. Because they're in Vegas and because everything is higher, the price of tickets for WrestleMania are astronomical. So not only are families priced out of going to WrestleMania, but just
Mhm.
people in general. And I remember an article coming out with TKO, and they made it very clear they're not pricing their tickets for families, they're pricing their tickets for people who can afford them. The problem is your product is consumed by people who cannot afford your tickets, which means it will reflect in your bottom line. So,
Mhm.
any good business owner would price their tickets at a market value, not at a value where they deem to be luxury. Now, don't get me wrong. Going to a show like WrestleMania and the Super Bowl, those are luxuries, right? But
Mhm.
the pricing should be competitive and it should be something that is a part of the valued market, not something that you deem is the best. Oh, we want to have the elites coming to our show. No, people who come in your show drink fucking Budweiser.
Mhm.
Okay. You need to price the tickets with a luxury price tag, but make it reasonable. So the rumor is that internally WWE is having some issues and they are placing that blame squarely on Triple H's head. Number one, because he keeps changing things when it comes to Mania. The matches are changing, the storylines are changing, and you can kind of tell if you've been paying attention, the storyline for CM Punk and Roman Reigns seems like it kind of came out of nowhere, right?
Sorry to
You saw
interrupt you
them.
really quick, Tiff. Sorry, I just saw this pop up. So, and I feel like there are a couple Housewives fans. So, if anyone was like an OG Housewives fan, Nasty Raggedy Jill Zarin felt like she
Oh
needed
yeah,
to
she
make.
got fired.
Sorry, she got fired.
Wait, who
how
got
you
fired?
how you fuck up your bag, bitch, and the show didn't even start yet?
Okay, so
Oh.
put a pin in
Because
the
there's
mania.
one
Joe
thing,
Jen,
and I
yeah,
used to
she got on
watch.
social media.
I used to watch OG Housewives, and that whole group of housewives, and Andy Cohen had like the best shade for them the other
Mm.
day, because he was like, oh, what do you think about that, Jill? He was like obviously denouncing it, and he was like, well, he's like, that's E's problem, because they work over there, they don't work for me, they got fired.
Oh,
And I said, oh,
oh.
okay, Andy.
Now look, she got her ass on the internet and decided she wanted to put her jigsaw face in the mix of the Bad Bunny Super Bowl situation. And she said basically
Oh.
that I didn't like it. She felt like it was a political thing and she didn't feel like he should have been the one chosen because nobody understood what the hell he was saying. And it was just too much for me. And I expected it to be better than this. And I'm just really disappointed. We're celebrating 250 years of America, and this is what we have to show for it. Somebody who can't even speak our language. And I was just like, well, America is a melting pot. We never
Mhm.
had an official language
We don't
until
have an
Donald
official
Trump.
language because there's too many fucking different ethnicities here.
Thank
Correct.
you.
But Donald Trump decided, to put an executive order in that says our national language is English,
It's not.
which
Our
It's
it's
not.
just his
technical,
executive
our
order.
technical. If you want to be real technical, because I there's nothing that's correct that comes under out of their man's mouth. We do
No,
technically have we do technically have an official language, but it's a very very old Native American language, and I'm so sorry, I'm like forgetting like the tribe and origin. There's like very obviously, because they got killed by
Yeah.
settlers. Um,
I mean, I
they
guess.
I forgot, but that is technically the official name language of America.
I mean,
It's like
hell, how do you?
very
We
it's
got
like
the
very
southern
old.
accent.
There's like maybe 100 people that speak it, if that. And I'm really up in that number.
Mhm.
the way that she prefaced it was just like, Jerome, my cord is not plugged up. I need you to plug that up. So because she did all this weird talking
Pussy
online,
popping and
and she did
twirling.
a video and she posted it with her whole chest, and them hoes fired her.
Mhm.
Fired her right
Hey,
after that. And I was just like, ooh,
it just it blows my mind, and then we can get back to wrestling. It just blows my mind that We are at the peak of information at our fingertips, and people are refusing to use it. It's like,
It's
because I
not
had a, so kiddo watched Bad Bunny with me, and she was like, while it was going on, she was like looking up everything about like the sugar plantations and all that, right? So she's just like,
I love this for her. She's gonna be Harley. She's gonna be
she,
so well rounded as an
dude,
adult.
she made a sign. I found this in her backpack. She's gonna put this at school, and it was literally her. It was in this glittery pink pen, and it said "fuck ice."
Period.
I'm like,
period.
look, this is my kid. But she's asking questions about this and stuff, and she goes, "Well, why does?" She doesn't call him President Trump. I think it's great. She goes, "Why does Trump hate Hispanic people?" And I said, "Well, you gotta
Hates
understand this, Harley."
everybody.
And I said this to her, and it made sense. And I'm not trying to take away because dude, she's been going off about Black History Month. She's been saying, you know what she said last night? I forgot to tell y'all. She goes, "This country's going back to Jim Crow laws." I'm like,
Well, she's not.
I'm like,
She's not
She's
wrong.
she's very correct.
I'm like, "Where'd you learn that?" She goes, "School." I'm like, "All right." Then she
At
goes, "I
least
came
they
home and looked it up."
Not them
teaching
actually
her
teaching us
something.
at school. I know that's right.
Right,
I
right.
think Harley's
Because
actually she's looking it up on her own, which I'm so proud of her for. And I'm
You're doing
thinking,
a
man, she's
great.
gonna be a,
You and Daryl are doing a good job, sis.
I'm
you're
trying
doing
my
a good
best.
job.
I'm raising.
You're doing a
So
good job, sis. I love that
I
man.
think I honestly feel because the way she was going off the other night, and I'm like, dude, she's gonna be. I looked at Daryl, I said, she's gonna be a civil rights lawyer. And he goes, she's gonna be something. Like, But so I had to explain it to her. Happy Black History Month, by the way, everybody. Um, so uh, she was just like, she goes, why doesn't he like anybody, you know, celebrating this? And I said, well, Harley, you have to think about it. I said, what, 200, something like 100, 200 years ago, you had the Irish, you had the Scottish, you had the Welsh, and you had Irish Scots, and Welsh coming over here for a shot, especially over where the colonizers were killing us for with the potato famine, right? And I said, we're
Mhm.
white. The only reason they gave us, and they're like, she's like, yeah, but we're all that much. And we're white. I said, Harley, the reason that they didn't like people like us coming over was because we had accents. That's why. And she goes, what? I said, yeah. I took that. I said, why do you think like cops? I found this out before I told her. I said, why do you think so many cops and firefighters are Irish? She goes, I don't know. I said, because people would hire them because they wouldn't care if Irish people died in the line of duty. They saw them as replaceable. And she just kind of looked at me, and you could see something like click in her head. I was like, I think I just made an anarchist, and I'm very proud of myself for it.
Congratulations, you radicalized your child.
Thank you. Sesame Street radicalized me. I'm radicalizing her.
That's right. Oh, I can't
So,
wait to see
So
Bad Bunny in the ring
yes,
because I didn't
this is
get to
the.
get his damn. This is to you, Benito. Don't have them have your shit limited and everything. I couldn't get none of his merch. It all sold
it
out.
got sold out because
And
them
then they
Puerto Rican
never,
people
and
don't
they
be playing about
barely
their bad
replenish.
money.
Don't do that shit
Mm-mm.
again. I'm telling you this
Didn't
right
he
now.
sell? Didn't his shit sell out in like 2 minutes or less?
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
couldn't. I was so pissed about that because
like
that's
you
when
had to be waiting when
I
it
actually had
launched.
disposable income at that time, so like I could jump and like buy random, even though I didn't like do it often, but I could jump and buy random shit like that. But it sold out so fast, and then it never restocked.
And since we're talking about pricing out stuff, I can't even fucking buy a wrestling shirt anymore. It's like $30
Oh,
for a wrestling shirt.
They've
yeah, they're
unfortunately
not
been
cheap
that price for a while.
for a
I
while.
also wait till sales. One of my friends, shout out to her. I don't again because I don't want to name all my friends on here, for their privacy. But she's
Hmm.
like actually genuinely getting into wrestling to the point that every time I go over to her house now, she has a different wrestling shirt on.
Oh
And I was
yeah.
I
like,
love that.
And because I happened on Super Bowl, I was like, where did you get this shirt from? She was like, well, she's like, I just bought this. And then I was like, I literally have that shirt, but I have it in white. It's the I feel like there's so many versions of the shirt, but it's the one of the Stone Cold and Rock's WrestleMania match, the 17 match card
Oh
shirt.
yeah,
Ooh,
Yeah, he
yeah.
had it in blue, which I was like, I haven't even seen that shirt in blue.
Damn.
But
That was,
she's like a big CM Punk fan, so like usually they'll have like a sales like everyone like for pretty frequently. But I said next time well, I did tell her, so I'm just gonna give it get it for her. But next time there's a sale and I can do like a buy one, or next time we have like a BOGO, I'm gonna buy her. Obviously I'll buy myself, and I'm just gonna buy her a CM Punk shirt 'cause she doesn't. I know she doesn't have one yet, and I've been telling her boyfriend to tell her to try to not let her buy one.
I've been waiting for them to put out a Kit Wilson shirt. Like, I
He
need a
don't
shirt
got
with
merch
him.
yet. I
No,
want a
he
yes
Kit
he
don't.
Wilson
does.
shirt.
He
Yes he
does?
does.
Are you sure? Because the
Yeah,
last
he
time I checked
does.
the shop, he was still, it was pretty deadly, and that was it.
I'm about to look because he
I
should
know they
have
have the
merch.
Elton Strong shirts, but they haven't rolled out Kit shirts. But he's pretty
Oh,
popular now, so
oh,
they'll
I feel
start.
so bad for Ellen. Hopefully, he can come back in a
Me
timely
Yeah,
too.
manner.
yeah.
And honestly, he seems like a very nice guy, so I'm very happy that this is happening for him.
I thought they had the Kit Wilson stuff out there because his Titantron
Mm-mm.
stuff that shit will sell. Like
Mm.
I
I
It's
don't,
don't.
it's
and I
been
think
all
they
over
already got
social
his song
media.
released because it takes
Yeah,
them
his
40.
song
It
is
would
released.
for everybody else. It takes 40 days and 40 nights.
Yeah,
Because you remember Dakota's, that's why I was low key mad that she got released. The last theme song she got was such a banger, and it literally, because again, they took so long, it literally just got on socials and shit like a week before she got released.
yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. I'll go find that song again.
So the big problem here with the WrestleMania is not only the pricing, but it is also the flip flopping with the matches and the possible feuds. Backstage, or at least in back of WWE, from what we hear throughout the IWC, people are upset with Triple H for being very unwavering. He's not, they say that he's not making definitive decisions, or when he does, he goes back and changes it somehow. Now, these last couple of changes that were made to Mania had to be made because people are injured.
Hmm.
Braun Breaker being one of them, which I'll get to Braun Breaker in a second.
Cool.
Also, Seth Rollins is another change. His injury derailed a lot of things heading into Mania. So they had to pivot into another storyline. And what that is one of the reasons why we're getting CM Punk and Roman Reigns early. It's happening now. Because I believe if Seth was healthy, it probably would be Seth and Punk heading into Mania. And then you would have Roman and Cody finishing out whatever it is they have going on.
That's right.
Yeah, because
So,
to be honest, like, I was watching the clip from Monday. Look, we all knew Liv Morgan was gonna win, but I have no interest in her either fighting Stephanie or Jade at this point. I'm just like, it
Honestly,
was
exactly.
so
I wish
it was
Raquel
so
won low
cringe.
key so they could have a feud.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not like I want a belt off of Stephanie, but for
But
Liv's
Raquel and
storyline, because
yeah,
I am happy that Liv won.
she deserved it.
She deserved it. I was very okay with her winning. I'm mad because they're not giving her a storyline that she deserves. I already know
No,
it's
and
not
they
going to be not right.
yeah, and they keep giving her, they keep hinting at it, but they don't execute it.
Just
And
pull the fucking trigger.
right, like
Hmm.
you've got Raquel losing because of Liv. Liv eliminated her in Mania, I mean at Royal Rumble. And then you have their loss that just happened on Friday Night SmackDown to Jaden Jordan. Like they're not even bringing that up. That's not even a conversation. And I'm just like, what's happening here?
I feel like they're trying to wait till
Mhm.
the last minute for some shit, and it's pissing me off because Liv does not deserve that. And
She
Raquel
really
has actually
doesn't.
like improved. Like Raquel figured out her move set, and she's improved.
Yeah, she has.
Book them for that Mania match. It should be Raquel as a champion because you can have her getting, you can do the storyline of her being like too big for her britches and being like, oh, you remember when you did that? And like her really starting to sun live because she's like, I'm the champion. I was helping holding it down while you're here. And then her
Yeah,
basically be like, I'm the new leader of Judgment Day. Bump what you were
yeah.
doing, Liv. I'm the leader of
I
Judgment Day.
mean, she would have a
Mhm.
valid point.
And that's a
Like,
good storyline. And then Liv could be like, blah 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 blah. I trusted you, like you're my A1. And then Raquel could be like, no, you never treated me as an equal.
fair,
Mhm.
Like
which
they're
is
so
true.
like they're so
There's
like
so
that's what makes me so mad. Like they're so like I would have been like you. She could literally go by, bitch. You brought me in to literally be like a bodyguard for
that's
you.
what you brought her in for.
And I'm already calling it. If no matter what side she goes to, Raquel's gonna cost Liv that Mania match. Liv's not
Which
winning.
is fine. I just wish they
Pull the
would
trigger
start the
on it. Like do
separation.
something.
Like do something. That's what I'm saying. I'm not
Them
saying that
ladies deserve
you
that.
no for real. And I'm not saying that you like it has to be a particular way. I'm just saying like you gotta give us something. You can't leave us just dangling and then you've got Liv Morgan not making any definitive decisions. So she's just jumping around from show to show at this point.
Yeah.
And it's
Which
just like, what are
she needs to have a decision made by Monday.
yeah,
End the
because
show
Elimination
Monday.
Chamber's coming up.
Yeah,
Mhm.
end the show Monday. She needs to have I'll give them 2 weeks, whatever, because somebody else took forever. It was another woman who took forever.
Was it Charlotte?
I think it was.
I think
'Cause-
Charlotte took a while for both. She low key took, even though she kept popping up on NXT and we knew that's probably what she was gonna do, but she took a second before actually saying it. So
Yeah.
both times Charlotte has had it, it's she's wait a second. I think we're so used because everybody else automatically just made their decision. Like Asuka made hers really fast. Becky, obviously, as soon as we're like, all right, we know where she's going. Like,
Yeah,
um,
Rhea.
Mhm.
Rhea, we knew, even though they didn't telegraph it, we knew that's where she was going because she had to get that Charlotte monkey off of her back.
Yeah.
For Bianca, even though she was like, I don't know, we knew she was gonna pick Sasha because or Mercedes. She had to pick Mercedes because I'm not she had to because of what that was. She
Yeah.
had to pick her. If
Yeah.
Mhm.
she absolutely, for everything in women's wrestling, she had to pick her
Yeah.
because that was above her. Picking Mercedes is above the both of them.
That's facts.
That- Why
Plus,
am I so emotional today?
I was just
Oh my
I don't
god, I
know.
need to find a therapist.
I well, I'm looking at because they have to decide it because the next PLE is Elimination Chamber, and from Raw last night, Rhea is the first woman to
Oh
be an
my
elimination. But
god.
again, you know what? I miss Butch Rhea because no one was rooting for her, no one was pushing for her, and I was the only one that seemed like I was the only one going for it. I miss Butch Rhea, but
I
like,
love Rhea. I
um,
just wish I understand why they put her in chamber. It's for the marketing about availability of it, which is fine.
yeah,
I
I
don't think
know, but
she's gonna
still,
win. I don't think she's
I
gonna
know,
win.
but
I just wish the
She's
match
definitely not winning, but
she's not
I
gonna
just wish
win.
the
But
match was structured better because they didn't have to make it so obvious with her. They put her
well,
in a match with Lyra and Ivy Nile. And I was
oh
like,
yeah,
Ivy was low key carrying that match.
she
I'm like,
was. I
you could
watched
have,
the
and
match
it
later.
wasn't the match. I don't take nothing away from Ivy's capability. But you're just by the structure of the match and who's in it. You're like, okay, we know who's gonna win here.
Yeah.
Had they had put EO in there, that would be different because then You only need one of them. And I have a
What's
sneaking
the next women's?
suspicion
I don't know any of the women in any of the Elimination Chambers matches.
the next women's qualifier is Friday, and it's Bliss, Julia, and Vega.
Oh
So
God.
there's so who is it? Bliss, Vega, and Julia.
Yeah,
It's either
It'll be
gonna
a
be
regular
Julia or
match.
Bliss.
It'll probably be Bliss
it's gonna be Bliss.
because she doesn't
So
mind. And also, again, I think we've talked about this on this podcast. If anybody who's on here live, hasn't heard us rant about this, I don't want to say rant. They don't like, a lot of wrestlers don't like doing elimination chamber because it hurts and they complain about it.
Yeah,
So it's
but they're the
always
first
the
ones to
same
sign up
people.
for.
So that's why it doesn't usually switch up a whole lot who's in there, because nobody wants to do it.
nobody wants to be in chamber.
Nobody wants to be in the
But
chamber,
everybody wants to do Money in the Bank though and fall off fucking ladders
which
and
I think
shit.
is so crazy because
That's
I would
wild.
rather do eliminate. I'm not
I'd
doing
rather
money
do
in the bank.
elimination
I'd
chamber.
rather do Elimination Chamber.
Mm-mm, give me the chamber. I'm not falling on no
You want
fucking
me to
ladder, and you're not
fall?
hitting me with one.
You want me to
Mm-mm.
bust, because if I'm wrestling, I will have implants. So in my imaginary as a wrestler, so you want me to bust the implant, fuck up my, like,
Hmm.
I'm not doing all that.
Your back
I'm
get
not doing money
rearranged.
in a
Mm-hmm.
climb. I don't like heights. And
And you ain't
So
climb and
lying.
try to hook for
yeah.
something, I get pushed off probably. No.
Right,
See, that's
right.
Daryl. Daryl makes fun of me because grew up hardcore Hardy Boys fan. I can't do heights. Like I can do airplanes and I can do coasters as long as like, because there's something under your feet or you're strapped
Yeah.
into something. I can do that. But if you want me to climb I can't even climb the ladders we have at home. If you think I'm gonna fucking climb up a ladder just for some bitch to knock it out under, and I'm a tall girl, I'm 5'11", so you're gonna knock the ladder out underneath me. That thing's 12 feet in the air, and you want my ass hit dangling? No, hell no. At least in elimination chamber, I can jump off a pod and make it look cool and crash, or get speared through something. But I ain't doing no fucking ladder match. Fuck that shit. Mm-mm.
No, I'm cool.
Elimination
I'm
chamber,
cool on all of
you
that.
only have to climb on something unless you absolutely want to,
Yep.
or someone pulls you up there. You have to
Mm-hmm.
climb up something for money in a bank, because that's the only way you're going to get that contract.
Nope.
That's why I'm not doing all that. That's why I don't. I This is how I know them people all got CTE, because
And that's
where does that make sense?
because, and if you notice the girls who do the jumping off in elimination
It's the
chamber,
same
it's
ones.
always it's always Bliss. I think Tiffany Stratton did it one year, but
Yeah,
you notice
she's
it's the
one.
shorter girls.
It's always Alexa.
It's
Alexa's
Liv.
always jumping off of that.
It's
Liv,
Bliss, Liv, Stratton. Somebody like EO. It's always somebody like that. Always, because you don't ever see unless Bianca or Rhea are climbing up to take one of them off of the pod.
But
They
I don't
not
count
doing
that.
that shit.
I'm not. I would not be climbing that fucking like. I would get with Nicole. I'd be like, okay, which one of us is gonna do the face shredder cell, and which one of us is gonna get like thrown into it and fall down and like I'd be like, I'm gonna do this shit. Y'all can jump off that. I'm over here doing this. Like I love Elimination Chamber, but I don't think that's so dumb that y'all are. I mean, and please put Chelsea Green in
Oh
Elimination
my
Chamber
god,
because
her ankle's messed up.
she.
I don't think
Oh,
she'll be able to do
ah,
that.
crap.
She's not
Well,
gonna
they,
do
I would
anything.
love if Bad Bunny was in Elimination Chamber.
oh my god.
Girl, stop
You know how
it.
many people that would piss off? I'm just here for that.
Stop. Stop. Oh
What
my
if he
god.
what if he won?
No, stop it. No.
He got a wrestle. I think he got to wrestle Drew at Mania.
Oh
he
my
beats
god.
he beats Drew.
I would cry.
I
I would
would fucking
legit
scream
cry.
if they real honestly. Hunter, somebody from that company is probably randomly listening. If you because you guys are having problems selling those seats.
Mm-hmm.
Not only with that, but also I heard I didn't know if you saw, I don't know if either of you saw this, but they also are putting, I don't necessarily, like a ban or lock on watch parties within the area,
Really?
because
Yeah, they
obviously,
are. I
because when I
saw
was
it.
there, Yeah, because when I was there, I think like Cinco to watch, like a lot of people had watched, and there was like official watch parties. Like, if I actually, because that's what I was saying, I was like, if I didn't fly home the next day, I would have went to a watch party, and there was one at the Palms Casino, and it was like literally in their pool area. But I was like, oh, it's
Nope,
not
they
hot enough
are
to get in a
banning
pool.
those watch parties.
Yeah,
They're
Because
blocking
they
it.
want everybody
within
to go
the close,
to the show
it
or the
can't be
spear.
within 50 miles of.
Nope,
Yeah, it
it's
Wow.
can't be within
within
50
the
miles of the
stadium.
stadium.
Yeah, so you can't even be on the strip. So
Wow.
Because there's this one, I don't even remember the name of the bar or restaurant or whatever it was, but it also, it's like you can see Allegiant Stadium from it. I want to say it's probably like maybe a 10-minute if walk, if that. Um but they were having a watch party for Mania, and you can literally see the stadium from there. And this is something that like in WWE, I don't know if it was technically, but that like it was who had, but it was like that place at Rhea, or I think they had multiple signings, but this was like an appearance. I think it was a cricket appearance. Was at
oh, okay.
this place that it
Mm.
was at like this restaurant slash bar that we were at, and they were playing like everything because I think I saw, because I was like looking at like the little, I don't know, like the little table tent thing, and then they had like all week they were showing everything, so like they had like, oh, we're obviously showing SmackDown, then like main, and like blah 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 blah. So
Well, they gotta
Yeah,
figure that
buddy.
first off. That's bullshit, man.
I mean, that's what they trying to make sure they get all of the money because the tickets aren't high. And because their
Well,
tickets are so low, they're not thinking like maybe we should be, reassessing the ticket prices.
no,
No, they're like, no, we got to stop everybody from doing stuff around the show and force them to come to the show.
they're
so
just gonna
I
find
wonder.
loopholes. They're just gonna
Yeah.
find loopholes like I just thought of, or just rent some
And then
fucking Airbnb.
but them restaurants and bars are angry.
I would be
Hmm.
They're
too, because
mad
that's, yeah,
because
because
they're
you're
losing
fucking up
money.
their money.
Yeah.
You're like, they're already gonna be fucking bamboozled the whole weekend because all these damn, well, I mean, Vegas, there's people out of town at all the times, but this is
Yeah, but
like
with WrestleMania on top of it, though.
WrestleMania. Like when I saw like such an overtaking of the city when I was there,
Hmm.
because in case anybody who's listening to this, I finally got to go to WrestleMania. I went last year. And
Yay!
it was like such an overtaking. Like you always saw like a little group, like literally no matter what part, we saw at least a couple groups of people who are wrestling fans. And Vegas is a big place. So I just think that's so crazy of them, because it's like they're already, and again, I'm not trying to go up for the city of Vegas because I think they're trash. But it's like you had it's like you're already like, they already paid you all this millions of dollars, extra millions of dollars, so you can jump, so they could jump the line of like literally four different other places.
Yeah, yeah, and now you're undercutting them.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
not
kind of
right.
like, which honestly I'm not mad about. I, again, like I said, I think they deserve it. So
Sin City.
that's what they get, where it should have been, at New Orleans,
Yeah.
like
Mm,
they were supposed to.
So
well,
I have a question real quick. Since, they're basically not only screwing, like, because I know they're trying to get people to come and go, like come there or go to the Sphere or whatever. Actually, I have two questions. Number one, as we know, during the week leading up to WrestleMania, a lot of indie promotions go out there and they do their shows. A lot of the time, they also do shows for people who can't go to Mania, but they have, like, make a whole week out of it. Saturday and Sunday, even with Mania going on, they still have shows going on. Do you think they would try to fuck them over as well?
no. No,
Okay, because I was
no, I
thinking
don't
that.
think so. Because I mean, like in all of WWE's existence, like they could have been doing that for years. And it's no reason for you to go after the smaller companies. They're not taking away from Mania because nobody's going to put on a program the same date and time. They might do it earlier and they may have it late at night, but they're not going to do it the days of Mania because you either are going to be watching it or you're going to be there. It's just like the Super Bowl. Most of the time, if you're watching it, like let's say Fox has the contract, Super Bowl comes on. ABC, CBS, NBC, they're going to put something on, but they're going to do something like reruns. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to premiere a brand new show during the 3 hour block of the Super Bowl. That is media suicide. So they're not going to do that. And they're not going to be, I don't think TKO is concerned about the other shows that show up to wrestle or have wrestling shows during this time. It's a residual effect of Mania. It's just like at the Super Bowl, whatever city they show up in, there are big shows that travel and show up in that city to have like a weekend, a whole thing, all because of the Super Bowl being there. But I don't see the NFL telling them like, yeah, you can't do that. That's not going to happen with them either. If they do that, that's even worse because what you'll do then is you'll still be taking money away from the city and you'll piss off a lot of people, including your own wrestling fans. That's
Okay.
problematic. You're already on thin ice with the fans as it is with the money they have to spend to come to WrestleMania. And you want to now undercut what else they can do throughout the week? No. Now, what they will do is counter program, which is what they've been doing, putting on comedy shows, making the superstars go out to the clubs and shit, which to me is fucking wild. Because if I have to go to WrestleMania and wrestle a 20-minute match, there ain't no fucking way you are contracting me to go out to the club and be around a bunch of funky ass drunk people for 6 hours and I only got 2 hours of sleep today.
Mm-hmm.
No, no. And some of them people be pulling double duty. Like Liv, last year's Mania, Liv Morgan she clubbed just about every night they were there. She had to do press.
They made her do. She was out here doing club appearances like she was a Taz Angel. Bet y'all don't
No,
know
dead
about that, huh?
ass. And I'm
That's
sitting
a
here like,
real deep cut.
it is.
Look
I
up
was like,
Taz's Angels.
damn. I'm like, damn, did she even get to sleep? Because the first night, I think they wrestled night two. I don't even think they wrestled night one. And she wasn't on the card as the bigger name, but because Liv Morgan is one of the most popular girls, her face was front and center. She was on the card, she was everywhere. They had that girl out all week. When I say all week, she was somewhere every single day. I don't know how she did it. I don't know how she stayed awake, but the girl did it. And then that next Monday, the Monday after, the bitch wrestled again. And then she went to NXT and defended the titles the next day. So if they're gonna do anything, all they're gonna do is counter program. That is it. They're just gonna counter the system, which they can do whatever they want. But people going to see Bloodsport. They're going to
I'll
see
go
it.
see Bloodsport.
I
They're
love
gonna do it.
Bloodsport.
So it's nothing that they can do about that. I want them to get their shit together and really TKO got to understand this is not UFC. People aren't taking their kids to go see UFC fights. Adults are going to see UFC fights, and the
Yeah.
UFC fights are fewer and far between. So it's easier to price it out for a championship match. That's a big money match. That's like boxing. You're going to spend some money to go watch those type of matches. This is wrestling. We get a PLE sometimes twice a month. Okay?
And that was something I was going to bring up. They need to get their storyline shit together because we have Elimination Chamber this month on the 28th. We don't have one in March, and then WrestleMania comes in April because they moved Money in the Bank to September for some weird ass reason.
Money in the Bank is in September this year. And they are still going to two shows in Saudi Arabia. Um, Royal Rumble does not count as one of their two shows.
So that brings me to my second question. Um, it kind of just makes me worry a little bit with the ticket sales because sometimes people wait till the last minute to get tickets, like how people did Survivor Series last year, and how that shit turned out, where they ended up paying like $900 to just get set by a TV, basically the size of the one you have in your house. Do you guys see that happening at Mania, or do you think
Yeah.
they've learned from? You think they would actually do that shit?
Yeah, I do. I also think that when you talk about tickets, there's a factor that comes into play that most people are not thinking about. And we're talking about, so a lot of times we're looking at resold tickets. The resale value of a ticket is different from the original price of a ticket. And that also is governed by the ticket counters that sell it. So Vivid, um, Seat Geek, and like all these other places that sell tickets. There is a big problem with tickets being resold. Like people are bots are going and buying these tickets by the boatload and then reselling them. And instead of them, like, hey, we went to the box office and bought these tickets and look where they sat us. It's like, well, let's keep it real. You're buying tickets last minute. Unless they had the room to have you there, just know your seat ain't gonna be great. You're gonna have some bad seats, but you gotta understand what you're paying for. Now, I'm not about no life of paying $1,000 and not being able to sit front row. I don't know about y'all, but something in my brain would have clicked if this didn't say front row. I'd have been like, are these tickets front row? Because you can dispute this charge right now. I'm not paying for this. Now, the Allegiant Stadium out there in Vegas, it's a pretty big place. So they got enough space to be able to fill in all of them seats. Plus, they use the field. The field is another 100 plus seats they be putting out there, and they don't even use the whole damn field. So
Hmm.
it's up to the person buying the tickets. A lot of times people tell you, yeah, buy your tickets last minute because that's the best thing for you. This is Vegas. This is Las Vegas. I don't think that's smart. If you want to go to WrestleMania and you have the money to spare to pay for it, you need to buy your ticket ASAP. Now, me personally, with the ticket sales being bad, I wait. I wait till maybe closer to Elimination Chamber or at least until after Elimination Chamber. Let me see how the tickets are because if the ticket sales are doing better after that, the best thing to do is pull the trigger and get the ticket then. So you can have your seat, you know where you are, and everything like that. But, child, you're gonna have issues with tickets. It's just the nature of the beast. You got to figure out what is your niche to buying these tickets. Most of the time, when the big four, you buy your ticket early. Buy it early, get it done. You ain't got to worry about no bullshit, no weirdo ticket price. You don't have to worry about all of that because you already got your stuff. You paid your money. Now, I say 250 is a decent price for a mid-section ticket, especially for WrestleMania. But if you
Oof.
paying $600 for nosebleed seats, you can sit at home and watch it from every angle and get the commentary
Hmm. And
for
you don't have
nothing.
to wear real pants.
And you don't have to smell everybody's BO
Oh my god.
because y'all seem to still have a problem with not washing your asses. All right, we're going to proceed. We got a few more things to talk about. So, Real quick, AEW's Double or Nothing is going to Queens. Okay, it's going to Queens, New York at the Queens Louis Armstrong Stadium. It's going to be on Sunday, May 24th. Okay, let me make sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sunday, May 24th. That is when Double or Nothing is going to pop off for AEW. From what I understand, AEW is doing pretty solid with their storylines right now. They've got Orange Cassidy paired with Tony Storm, and they've got a lot going on. I think it's a hair match that they're getting ready to have with them.
Yeah, hair. It's hair versus hair. So it's a hair versus hair mixed tag match. It's Orange and Tony versus Marina Shafir and Wheeler Utah. And the way it works out, if a guy has to pin a guy and the girl has to pin the girl, whoever eats the pin gets their head shaved.
Yeesh.
I think it's gonna be Wheeler because his hair's been growing out for a while now, and I look, I need someone, and
Marina's going to cut her hair. That's a strong bitch right there.
I just and I put this out on Threads, and I appreciate people, and I'm on Instagram, and I'm really happy that a lot of people were being nice about it. I put out there, what is the deal with Wheeler, Utah? Because I know a couple of episodes, I think like last year or the year before, we talked about AEW cutting loose basically the dead weight, like, what's not working for the company. And I asked, why is Wheeler still here? Because every time I see him, he's either being the sacrificial goat for the Death Riders, he's getting involved with women's business and getting his ass whooped for it, or he's just playing he's the whipping boy. That's all I've seen him do. And again, mostly men, they were actually nice to me this time. I'm actually surprised by this. And they
Now
said,
they were
one guy's
nice.
like, they were nice because one guy's like, I have been asking this for the last 2 years and no one has given me an answer.
Oh,
And one guy, and someone else put like, I don't know, but he needs to stay out of grown women's business and stop getting involved in shit that don't matter with him. I was like, oh,
oh,
I like this one
oh,
too.
now we got,
Like,
now we have progressive men. Oh my
I
God.
know, like AEW fans, like, hello, where you guys been?
I think they finally grew up, Alexis. They finally grew up.
My
We're
baby's
so proud.
so
We're so
proud.
proud of you. Oh my God.
Okay, I'm over it. Ugh. But no, it was just really nice. I don't know if they were, but whatever. But everyone was asking pretty much the same reason. Marina Shafir, I can understand because now they're trying to turn her into this bitch. Wear some shoes. That's all I'm asking you to do. But like, no one understands because if before all this, he was getting involved with Chris Statler, or Wheeler was getting involved with Chris Statlander and with Willow and all that shit. And I'm like, why is he getting involved with the women? And
Vince
no
knew.
one and no one's been able to answer this. And one guy's like, I thought he like one person I literally thought that he was fired. Every time he shows up on my TV, I'm surprised he's still there. I was like, damn,
Nuts.
holy shit.
Well, they got some other stuff coming down the pike for AEW, but their Double or Nothing show is going to start on May, and they're going to be in New York. So, congratulations to them. And I know they're probably going to kill this PLE too. They have a really good track record with their PLE, so I expect nothing less than something good. Something else that I forgot to mention is Braun Breaker. I think I mentioned him earlier slightly, but Braun Breaker
Mm-hmm.
has to have hernia surgery, and this is
Oof.
why he's going to be out. And they expect that he's going to be out for 6 months, which means he will miss WrestleMania. Um, which is sad because Braun Breaker has been working really hard leading up to Mania, and now this hernia situation has come up, and he had to have the surgery. And from what the reports are saying, we don't know if it's true, so take it as a grain of salt, okay? Because I tend to trust the superstars more than I trust what they're reporting, okay? Um, so they didn't. You could just use what was downstairs, babe. They didn't say exactly, but they said that his hernia had gotten was worse than what they thought when they went in for the surgery. So now they're reporting that he's going to be out for 6 months,
Oof. And I was reading
which
up on that today, and that is oof.
that sucks. But I'm
Uh-huh.
glad that he was able to get it taken care of, and the surgery was a success. So maybe he'll have super Cena healing speed, and he'll come back in time. But I just want him to be healthy and happy. I don't care about anything else. All right. Next
Hmm.
thing, a good thing. Killer Cross is your new MLW champion. He won
Nicole,
it.
Hmm?
did she talk about Cross
Cross,
becoming the new
Oh, I'm
MLW
so
champion?
happy for them.
he was able to become MLW champion, and his
Finally.
mom was there, and he was able to give her the title when she
I
was
was
there.
happy
So,
because she doesn't really like going in public a lot, so she doesn't really go to shows. So it was like
mhm,
it was just nice for them to have that moment.
Well, he also
yeah,
made the announcement at the show that she's cancer free.
Yes.
she
So,
is
So I was
like,
cancer
like, oh,
free.
I was like, thank God.
congratulations, Mama Cross.
Yeah,
But
and he
yeah.
was really emotional. He said that he was happy to the fans for supporting him because honestly, they've been battle crying for Cross, and I
Hmm.
I'm glad because somebody needed to. Somebody needed to. So kudos
I'll,
to
I'll,
you.
no, go ahead and
I'm
finish
waiting
up.
on Scarlett. I'm just waiting on Scarlett to get her flowers because she earned
Oh.
them, and they ain't gave them to her yet. I'm
And
just
she
waiting.
has her hair and her hair is correct again, and it's like
Hmm.
all it's like the world is
The
looks
world
not
is back.
healing.
Everything is
The world is
aligned.
healing.
Yeah.
Well, the world is healing. I saw her hair. I was like, oh, thank God, it's blonde.
You know
I'm
what? I
glad
will say
for
this:
her. So,
just being around MLW for like, just like start watching it. MLW fans, they are right, like they are true ride or dies. There's nothing about like their favorites that they fall off for them. Like, they're the ones in the trenches because they're like, because I saw one guy, he's like, how do you fail Killer Cross 2 times, but he comes
Literally.
home and we are literally yelling, open the door or we're gonna kick it in for him, and they actually listen. And I'm like, this is the disconnect that's missing with WWE right now, because MLW is listening to the fans, but WWE is listening to the TKO, because they did it for Jacob, they did it for Hammerstone, they did it for oh shit, who's been another champion there? They did it for Pillman when he was there. Like, everybody who's gone through MLW, the fans have been absolutely. I mean, hell, they're even behind Riddle, which may lose some bonus points with me, but you get what I'm saying, though.
I'm just
They,
happy for
they love
Cross.
that. They love that man over there for some reason.
Hmm.
He's earned that title, and I hope he gets to keep it for a little while.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I would love to see
Final,
Hammerstone versus Cross. I think that would be great.
the final story is a story about Zilla Patu. So I'm gonna go to cage side seats and give you guys the play by play through them, and then we'll talk about how you feel about it. All right.
Hmm.
So there are some old tensions between Zilla Fatu and GCW owner Brett Lauderdale that have resurfaced after Fatu publicly criticized the promotion and Lauderdale. During a SmackDown live stream on Friday on his YouTube channel, Fatu responded to a fan who mentioned seeing Kim and Jacob at a GCW show by saying, man, F GCW. He also called Lauderdale weird and warned viewers not to bring their children to GCW events. Now, Lauderdale
Oh.
went to X to respond to this, and essentially, let me see if the tweets are still up there. They are. He said, when I first met Zilla, he had 13 matches and an ugly fallout with Booker T under his belt. We took him into the GCW family, brought him on the road, and gave him the opportunity to work with, be around, and learn from some of the best in the business. He claims that nobody else in the business would touch him after this fallout between Zilla and Booker T. He also brought up that GCW, well, in the article, it says that GCW and Fatu parted ways in 2024. And they said it was basically they were at an impasse with a rising prospect. Fatu has never publicly addressed the split. Instead, he promoted future appearances and merchandise on his social media. Now, days later, after this post on Brett Lauderdale's Instagram, he then went on a bit of a rant. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I
Mhm.
can find it. He might have taken it
Mhm.
down. I want to make
I'm
sure
I'm
we
pulling up.
have it up here.
I'm
Okay,
pulling up
so
Twitter
yeah,
right now.
February 9th is when he posted this. It wasn't days later, it was February 9th. He said one, and this is a picture with Zilla Fatu in it. He says, young wrestlers, be careful who you surround yourself with. The dude sitting next to you, laughing it up and encouraging you when you say and do dumb shit are not your friends, and they don't have your best interests in mind. They are seeking attention and clout at your expense. He says Zilla will either figure it out soon and fulfill his destiny, or he will end up as just another cautionary tale. I wish him the best regardless. Now, he did post something days later, but I think he's since deleted it because it's not up here on his page. But according to GCW, he posted about criticizing inexperienced wrestlers for acting entitled, saying those with under fewer matches than 40 should focus on helping set up rings rather than demanding flights and hotels for their entourage. He also cautioned young wrestlers to be mindful of who you surround yourselves with in a message he reiterated on Monday. Um, Wrestling legend Missy Hyatt defended Lauderdale in the comments, praising his professionalism and calling him a family man. So,
Hmm.
Zilla is still currently a two-time reality of wrestling champion at the promotion that Booker T runs. He is also the reigning House of Glory Crown Jewel champion and the fourth rope heavyweight champion currently. So, what do we think, ladies?
Nicole, you go first because I'm doing some research real quick.
So I was able to read up a bit of a little bit of it. So I do think with this, I think the truth lies in the middle. Um
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is a bit more nuanced, obviously, like we've heard for a while, those individuals at GCW are weird at best. So like again, that wasn't like new information. Also, what he unfortunately recounted about Zilla is also been stated
Yeah.
because he did that have that really good opportunity with Booker T, but that obviously had that really bad falling out, and then he barely had wrestled at that point, so it's like nobody's picking him up. And then and that was like a fact, and I was like, and I hate to say it like this, but that is true. There's a reason why everybody else in your family pretty much is in the
Hmm.
same place on TV. I think there's maybe like one or two of them on the indies, but I think they haven't been wrestling for that long.
Well, Lance and there's a few others
Lance was
that
there
are
for a second and he sucked and then he got released, so he doesn't count because
yeah.
he technically was there. Um, so that's why I'm saying like everybody's there except for you.
And
Everybody,
I think his
everybody.
youth has a yeah, his youth has a big problem. I do think that
Hmm.
Brett makes a valid point about watching who you surround yourself with. Um, this is a time where his family's gonna have to come into play. Um, he's very young.
Jacob, you gotta call
Um,
him up. You gotta.
yeah,
Yeah, Jacob.
he's very young, and he come from the streets. Like I'm just gonna be honest with you. He come from the streets, and you're coming into a world where sometimes that behavior is glorified.
Yeah.
And he believes because he comes from the lineage he comes from, because of his father and what his father did, he now is owed something. It's an entitlement thing. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to Zilla. I'm just calling it like I see it. And if you don't like it, babe, I'm sorry. But it's
No,
the
because
truth.
we've said
There's
it
a
so many
certain
times. Sorry.
no, it's fine. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with what you were saying is because we've said it so many times. You cannot go in, especially if you're a legacy wrestler and you still got a lot to prove. That you can't go in there with that kind of attitude or it's like give me what I want, blah 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 blah, because that will not end well for you at all.
You trying to take care of your homeboys is wild behavior to me, especially when you're the one who's banging your back on the mat every day. You're the one having to ice yourself down. You're the one who's out and about. You're the face of three different companies. Bro, you got too much going on to be worrying about carrying other grown ass men. Okay? Hear me when I say this. Any man who's willing to let you do the heavy lifting while they live rent free ain't your nigga. That's not your man's.
You are
That's a
not.
leech.
You are not rich enough. Okay, so this is like obvious. This is like a conversation. What I actually do like this conversation because it goes into what I people that I call nepo friends. And this happens with like you see with like quite a few famous people. Again, this might be self promotion, but name like there's an F1 driver where he has like a pretty like decently sized like content brand outside of him being a driver, and his best friend is in charge of it. Like he's like obviously like
Mm.
the friend because he's super super famous is the face, but this person like he runs it, he's a face and blah blah blah. But my point is he is allowed something like that is okay because that friend is helping you do work. Like he's
Right.
yes, he's getting money, like he's putting money in his pocket, but he's help returning an ROI on in your bank account as well. These dudes is just laying up in your house, probably smoking weed, drinking fucking monarchs and bush ices,
Excuse
and
me.
not cleaning the bathroom.
It's so oddly specific.
But
It
I'm
really
telling you,
is.
that's what's going on. Like those, like you, and also Zilla, like he probably does make a good rate on the indies because of like who he is.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you do not make enough money yet to have a nepo, let alone one nepo friend and not
you
multiple.
got two.
You got two
Nah,
nepo friends, and they ain't doing nothing but like I said it previously. So there's quite a few people who have nepo friends. Who else has one? Um, Lady Gaga has one. It's mostly low key. It's mostly with athletes.
LeBron got one. LeBron's
Yeah,
friend runs like I think he runs like one or two of his businesses
yes.
for him.
LeBron has one. I think Clay has one.
Yeah, he does.
Um, what's it called? Ant does.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's someone else, and it just like left my mind. Oh my God,
Mm.
it's gonna make me mad. It's another basketball player. Um, oh my gosh, I'm pissed. That's no, it wasn't a basketball player, it's a football player. Travis Kelsey, he has an Apple friend.
Yes, Travis Kelsey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he probably
I
got a
mean,
And
plug
I
in
would
for a lot of
also
things.
love to be in a point, and I'm manifesting this stuff because I'm getting better at manifesting things for myself to the point
it
where I am able to have a Nepo friend with me because so that's what I was saying. But in hindsight, it's like you can't employ someone in that position, Zilla, who don't even know how to fill out the resume.
And it's not, and then too, you're burning bridges. Like if you had a problem with GCW, I understand, but like for you to go on a live stream, and this is another problem. Live streams are dangerous, especially for
Mhm.
people in media and people who do entertainment, because you forget that you're on live stream and people clip and wait for you to say something stupid. That's what happened with Rhea Ripley some years back when she got caught saying something she wasn't supposed to say. Same thing happened with Randy Orton when he was live streaming playing his video game.
Mhm.
Listen, y'all have to start being conscious and aware. You need to treat these live streams just like they're any other interview. You cannot just be sitting up there saying wild shit and then not expect repercussions about it. Now, I ain't saying that what he's saying is not true because I don't know who Brett Lauderdale is. I haven't heard nothing about that. I don't even follow GCW, so I don't know anything about that. I know nothing. But I will say this, if that's a real problem, then this was not the right way to air that shit out. Furthermore, you should have been more careful because your backyard ain't clean, even if his ain't, yours ain't either. And if you was burned out here in these streets, you definitely need to be careful about how you talk about promoters because that can also get you burned again. Because ain't nobody gonna fuck with you if they feel like you're gonna be out here spilling tea that's false, because that's even worse. Because negativity and false narratives spread faster than good news. So
Mhm.
you out here fucking around and you could be messing up your shit. Now you got a direct line. Where you are right now, you have a direct line to either go into WWE ID program or bypass that and go into NXT. You need to be tightening up and planning for your future. Not fucking worried about what's going on in a company you don't even fuck with no more. I'm just gonna tell you like it is because you got too much shit riding on it. And if you plan on extending your father's legacy, you can't do that from outside the club, G. You can't do that from outside the club. If the rest of your cousins is there, it's gonna take somebody like Roman to get your ass in there. And even then, you're gonna have to be caught up because you ain't gonna be able to keep your shit together. So you gotta tighten up. You can have your issues with people, but you air that shit out when it's necessary. This right here was not unnecessarily messy. It wasn't even necessary. And then this man basically came back and was like, well, you problematic as fuck. I have a clean record and you out here talking to reckless about me, but you're problematic.
Eh,
And I got the proof.
I wouldn't say he's not problematic because I'm just gonna say allegedly because I don't want to get sued, and I've been reading this on Reddit because and it's saying that it's been disproven, but apparently Brett has gotten into trouble with underage females. I guess.
This is the problem I'm having with this though. It's not that it's not true. And it's not that it is true. It's none of that. You're airing him out and you were problematic. Who do you think people are going to believe?
They're gonna believe a guy whose family is in WWE right now, and he's the last
I
one,
don't know
and
about
everyone.
that. I don't know about that.
I mean,
I
it's
don't know
it's
about that.
wild. It's wild. I don't know because I'm sitting here reading up stuff about it, like on both sides. And Nicole, there are so many people saying the same thing you are that Jacob needs to come and get him together, like now, if he ever wants to be around
It's
WWE.
because I don't know what's up with that generation of that family, but which is again I don't know. There's so many people in that family and dynamics. It's just I just is really mind boggling to me because those are the youngest,
Nepotism?
but they grew up seemingly in the most harsher conditions,
Yeah, they did.
which is concerning to me
I
because
just,
they're the younger generation.
you would just think, like, being in a family like that or being related to a family like that, that you would know how to act when it came to handling, like, look. You put shit on the internet.
It's not even knowing how to act, which I do agree with that, Alexis. I just don't understand how they were put in a predicament to grow up to not learn that. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Do you think there's like maybe nepotism because it's like, oh, I'm from this
I think it's
family
the
and blah
opposite.
blah blah.
I don't think they were checked on like they should have been. Because you had Jacob in and out of prison for years. Um, Similar bout with Zilla, and then especially with Zilla, because Zilla's father's not here anymore,
Yeah,
and he has not
he
been
lost him
here
at a young
for a
age.
long time. So I'm like, okay, so what was the village doing with him? Because I obviously, and again, this is again, I don't, not trying to like, project and all that, because again, we don't know these people, but from the outside looking in, from my observation, it does not look right when you have all these other men, also your father's brother, and
Hmm.
he came out like this. So I'm like, the uncles were still like the OGs were still, so I'm like, so who was making sure that who's watching after these kids, or guiding them rather?
Thank you.
Because I'm like, I don't understand, because a lot of them were grown when they were kids. And I'm talking about like the Jays and the Jimmies and the Romans and um
Hmm.
Alphas and Sekas that's what, and like a Rock's mom and Rock his damn self and Tamina. And it's like, was nobody checking on these kids? Like, I
Probably not.
understand they were all way in, because I believe they're like they're the California ones, and I know mostly everybody else was like in the Florida, was like on the East Coast in the Florida area. But if they knew that these kids, because I'm assuming, especially Jacob, because Jacob started wilding out earlier, ain't why ain't nobody pick his ass up?
Mhm.
Because
So
they
I know
probably,
that's
I
somebody
don't
in my
know.
family, and they're wilding out, and they're like, oh no, we gotta get you. You doing way too much.
So that actually, here's the thing, because I did grow up with a family member who was doing way too much and honestly should have got her ass kicked centuries ago. I don't even know if this bitch is alive or dead because she ran off and do drugs again. Like that's how bad it is. And I really don't give a shit if she hears this or not. So she probably not. She's probably dead. But she literally got all the attention because everyone was always worried about her. Like, oh, she's using again. Oh, she ran off again. Oh, she ran off with this random motherfucker again. Like she, it was always one person that they always focused on her and me and the rest of the cousins. No matter what we were doing, we were always kind of pushed off to the side because everyone was so well. Not my parents, because my mom and dad washed their hands of her a long time ago. But me and my cousins who were actually doing good, and she wasn't the only cousin that was being like this because I had another one. He had anger issues. Another one, oh my god, I couldn't even be in the same fucking room with her without wanting to punch her. So all the trouble cousins got all the attention. That left the other ones, like me, my brother, and my two other cousins, to the wayside. And no one really gave a shit about us because they were so constantly worried about the other one. And the other one basically fed off the attention they were getting, even though they were doing bad shit to get the attention. Because they knew that was a way to keep it on them. At least that's how it was in my family. I don't know how everybody else's family dynamics work. But it just, and then it used to piss me off because, like, no matter what I did, no matter what my brother did, no matter what my other two cousins did, we would make me, we all, the four of us are the only good ones that have any good lives. But everyone to this day still focuses on the ones who acted up when they were younger and they're still fucking making mistakes as full grown adults. And I had to check Zilla's age. This is a 26-year-old man acting like this. His fully frontal cortex shit is formed. So why is he
Doesn't
acting
mean
like
he
this?
doesn't. I mean, he's acting like that because he had some traumatic shit happen to him too. The thing is, he, like I said, he might not be entirely wrong about what he said, but he has now opened a can of worms that aren't his, that shouldn't have been open. He could have been doing whatever he was doing and left it alone. They brought up GCW. He could have been like, "Oh, I appreciate you coming to the show."
I just
I
want to know who
get
this other
his
little man is.
frustration, but at the same time, he's got to think about himself, and he's got to think about his his legacy and where he's wanting to go. Not concerned about nobody else. You obviously were there in GCW. That was a stepping stone. That wasn't meant for you to be there long. But Nicole got a valid point. Like you have a massive family, and to Nicole's credit, I understand where she's coming from. But at the same time, they was in the streets. Zilla talked about his past on his YouTube channel. He talked about how, when his dad died, it was rough for them. He said Chris Jericho helped bury their dad. You know what I'm saying? Jacob was out there in them streets, selling dope, doing whatever. But he was in the streets. That's how he ended up going to jail. The way he turned himself around was he saw his cousins in jail on TV. And he was like, I could do that. Called his cousins, they set him up so he can get what he needed. Look, I come from a family that's very protective of all of us. So for me, if one of my siblings was out there stranded and they needed me, I'm going to get them. If I know my siblings is in the middle of some shit or some shit's about to go down with them, I'm gonna talk to them because I need them to get themselves together. Maybe they had conversations with them before, it didn't stick, and it was like, look, you on your own. Now, the only thing Zilla gotta do is tighten up. Wrestling wise, he's fine. Storyline wise, he seems to be doing okay. He understands that aspect of it. But he just gotta tighten up. The people around him be hyping him up, and y'all got to stop this live streaming bullshit. I don't understand why everybody has to do it. I'm very fucking confused. Live stream seems to be the worst decision to make as a superstar, an entertainer, or whatever, because it always ends up with some wild shit being said, and then you in trouble for just that. Like, if you want to live
Just
stream
ask
watching,
Rampage Jackson's son.
no, for real. Like, if you want to live stream watching SummerSlam, watching SmackDown because your big cousin's on there or whatever, I'm all for that. Live your best life. All that I ask is that you keep it to what you're watching and be conscious and aware of what you're saying and how you move, because you are always being watched in this internet. Somebody is always waiting for you to slip up. You got to be on point all the time if you're going to be live streaming. That's just the truth. Now, you 26 years old. You got to pull it together. And as far as Brett, if Brett is out here fucking on little girls, yo,
I was just reading it. That's why I said allegedly. I'll look more into it later. But a lot of people were saying that this has been proven false. Wrestlers were coming out saying, no, that never happened. Take it all with a grain of salt, but I'll look more into it later and report back on what I find
there was
if
a
y'all are
wrestler that
interested.
defended Billy. I mean, defended Brett. Like, hey, that's not true. Like, he's been a great owner or whatever. That's why I said you don't know what's true and what's not. But
Yeah,
I
it
can
was
tell you
Joey
what.
Janela.
No, no, no. It was a woman. It
Oh,
was a
really?
woman
Okay.
who she was in the comments underneath his post defending him. Her name is Missy Hyla or
Yeah, Missy
Hala, something
Hyatt.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
So
but there was
I
another one. There was another thing 2 years ago, and it was Joey Janela saying, no, that's not him. So,
look, Zilla, none of that concerns you. Mind your business, focus on your career, and move on. Forget them niggas, them two goons that's sitting there at the table
Out your
cussing,
house.
and yeah, get rid of them. Get rid of
Honestly,
them.
you need to get a girlfriend. Low key.
mm-hmm.
Not you need a woman.
No, maybe she's right. He needs somebody to keep his ass in line. Cause, like, I'm be honest. If I was just listen, if I was young enough to date Zilla, and I was over there and we were living together, and he's over there cutting up with his two friends, and I know that, I wouldn't be I'd be working, but I'd be hearing him and his little nepo friends acting up in there. I tell them to get the hell out of my house, and if he doesn't like it, he could go with them.
Ooh,
Because why are you shooting yourself in the foot because you know how small the wrestling community is, and just because you may have some people who are on your side, other people may not be on your side. And guess what? That's how you lose bookings. That's how you
yes,
lose money.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Um, I lost my train of thought.
I'd be like,
Okay.
I'd be like, what bill you be paying to be acting up like this in my house? Get the fuck out.
Oh no, I found it. A reason I say that is because I feel bad for not
Oh,
remembering
okay.
this young lady's name, but Enzo's girlfriend is on TikTok, and she's sort of like a
Oh,
little.
she's great.
She's like, oh,
I love her.
she seems so lovely.
I
Um,
love her.
And so down to
but she's
earth.
like a micro
Yeah.
influencer, and she talks about like her being with Eric because she was never like a wrestling fan. She know who the fuck that man was when she met him.
Nope. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
She was just like, okay, whatever. But she's like grown to like love and appreciate the business, but she also does a lot helping him out. Like she's going with him to show, so she's helping set up. She's literally like helping with his merch, like helping manage his
Yep.
schedule. Like
Yep.
she
She's
like
working.
does like so much, and I think that's also a big reason why he's also in such a great place right now, career
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
wise and like mentally,
Yeah.
because he has someone like that, because she genuinely wants him to do better. When you have somebody that's with you that just really wants you to be the best version of yourself, you're gonna fucking succeed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
Say it
Every
with
that's
say it
why
time.
louder.
he's in the position that he's in right now.
Cause there was a time where Enzo was just like Zilla.
Yeah, tripping.
Yep.
Causing himself money. And then this girl comes along and she gets his shit together.
Well, he got his shit together before
Before
then.
she
Like
came. Yeah.
they haven't been together that long. But
But
she's helping,
she's improved. Yeah.
yeah, but she's helped
Yeah.
improved on what he's doing, on what the work
Yeah.
that
It's
he's already put in himself. But in
yeah.
hindsight with Zilla, they'd be starting from ground zero.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Ooh.
telling you,
Ugh.
therapy works, man.
Or a swift kick in the ass works just as well too.
Alexa's just violent.
Look, I'm not violent, but I'm just saying sometimes, okay, you need a little bit of sensitivity when it comes to therapy. Sometimes you got a motherfucker in your family who won't listen until you put boots to ass and you make them listen to you. Sometimes that's the only way they're gonna learn.
Listen, we ain't gonna keep y'all on here no longer. We're gonna let it end there. So make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Next week we're gonna do Midwest Melanin Mafia. Hopefully, I'll be able to get all of the goons in here for that because they've been slacking lately. Okay,
The
I
means
appreciate all of them because last time it was just me, Nicole, and Britt, which it was fun to talk to both of them, so it didn't have no issues. But we need the menzies in there. Okay, so we should be up to a few more people in elimination chamber by then. But for right now, your elimination chamber stands as such. Randy Orton and LA Knight have both qualified for the men, and Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton have qualified for the women. Friday, there are two more qualifier matches. You're going to have Sami Zayn facing off against Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. And you will have Zelina Vega, Julia, and Alexa Bliss facing off against each other, and they all will be fighting to determine who can qualify and be the third entrant into the Elimination Chamber. So I will see
You.
you guys next time.
holy shit, Soul one. Zarya is about to whoop her ass.
Uh oh.
Mm,
Oh no,
So won
lesbians.
what? Wait a minute. Is she the champion?
No, the stipulation
Oh,
was weird. It was a tag match, so it was Zaruka versus um homegirl from No Catch Quarter Crew and that who's that lady? The Evolve champion. The other Evolve champion. And it was whoever got the pinfall would become the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. So
Oh,
Zarya been acting funky with her since last week, and so and then she's acting funky again, and then um, Soul end up getting the pin.
she gonna cost
mhm.
that girl that title match for
No
sure.
more lesbians. Oh,
No, no more. It's time.
Yeah,
It's time.
it's time.
I know, but still, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's
All
sad, but it gotta go.
right, y'all. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.